class. Justin Dews back for another edition. Tonight I want to start off with a question. I have 3 products here. I have a camera, a box of cookies, and a book. Okay, they might not seem all that similar, and to I guess the average eye, they're not. But there is one thing that ties them all together, and that's the topic of my speech tonight. Intellectual property. All right, intellectual property are the things that make sure that nobody can go out and replicate these items. No other competing business or individual can go out and copy that book and sell it for their own profit. Nobody can go out and try to make a camera that acts and is designed to act exactly like the one I showed you. And I think that's important for the businesses, the corporations out there, to make sure that if they invent something, or even individuals, if they invent something, that they make sure that their product can be protected, at least for a certain amount of time, so that they, in our capitalistic society, that they can profit from that. So, like I said, intellectual property law is the topic of my speech tonight. I think it's amazing. I got an excerpt here from the U.S. Constitution. This is from Article 1, Section 8. And it says, "To promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries." I think that's pretty groundbreaking, almost, that 100 years ago, or hundreds of years ago, sorry, the framers of our Constitution were already worried or getting ready for the fact that basically they knew that it was very important to protect people's discoveries, inventions. You think hundreds of years ago, well, there wasn't that many new discoveries or groundbreaking new inventions. It seemed like there was big leaps, decades, sometimes longer, in between large inventions compared to today's society. So I do think that's a pretty interesting fact. So today I want to give you the 3 biggest and probably the most important forms of intellectual property law. The first one is the copyright. Okay, we all see it in the fronts of our books, our textbooks, the novels, and magazines, stuff like that. That little C with the circle. Okay, that's your standard copyright. All right, a copyright is a legal concept enacted by most governments, giving the creator of an original work exclusive right to it, and usually for a limited amount of time only. Generally, it's the right to copy, but it also gives the copyright holder the right to be credited for their work or to be cited for it. That copyright also shows who may financially benefit from it and other related rights. So that copyright is an intellectual property form applicable to any expressible form of an idea or information that is substantive and discrete. So when I'm saying substantive and discrete, that means big works of art, books, songs, things like that, poems, I would say, those are all able to be protected under that copyright. So substantive, the average person who goes out and posts on a blog or a Facebook, that's not necessarily substantive. And discrete, that's not necessarily what the framers of the Constitution designed or had in mind when they were concerned with copyrights. And more so those big novels, your musicians, the songs, those are the things that were designed to be protected. The next one, the trademark. A trademark is a distinctive sign or indicator used by an individual, business, organization, or other legal entity to identify the products or services to its consumers. All right, so the Coke or the bottle of water you drink at lunch, every sign out there, well, some of the bigger ones, those bigger corporations, you see the little TM or the R with a circle, those are your trademarks, those are your registered trademarks. And it's basically saying that, okay, nobody else out there can emulate or try to repeat the exact product or service that you're doing. And so it makes sure that, the shirt I'm wearing, okay, it's going to probably have a trademark or a register on the actual label to make sure that that company's putting their name on this product and they're backing that up. So no competitor, no foreign country could try to replicate this without being able to put that same registered trademark on it. So basically, it gives them that security to know that their product is essentially backed up. And then the last one I want to talk about real quick is a patent. We've all heard of patents. A patent consists of a set of exclusive rights granted by a sovereign state to an inventor or their assignee for a limited period of time in exchange for public disclosure of an invention. Obviously, public disclosure is a very important part, because if it's a groundbreaking invention, we don't want somebody, or the government or the country doesn't want somebody to hold on to that. They want to make sure that if it's going to help society in any way, shape, or form, that it can be brought to light, and that inventor, creator is protected and can profit from it, like I said, for our capitalistic nature. So like I said, those are the three most basic forms of intellectual property law. And like I said, I know they might not mean a lot to you on a day-to-day basis. A lot of us, me included, I'm not the president or CEO of any large corporation making products that are worried about copyrights, trademarks, and patents on a day-to-day basis. But in the business world, it very, very much is an important topic. I mean, there's companies, the largest corporations, the Fortune 500 companies are the ones spending millions and millions of dollars a year to either start litigation and lawsuits against their competitors who they think are infringing upon their rights. So that was the purpose of my speech tonight, was to give you guys a little bit of background, a little bit of information on the forms of intellectual property law that are out there today. And like I said, maybe one day if you're creating a product or a service and you decide to register or trademark or copyright your works, then maybe this will make a little bit more sense. But if you have any more questions or would like to discuss this further, just hit me up on the conference. Thank you.